they pay them, give them enough money to make sure they eliminate me.
Allah.
I broke the news that Mr. Ibu, that is John Okafor, our legendary comic Nollywood actor, passed on a few days ago. And since he passed on, there has been so many controversies surrounding his death. The controversies did not start when he died. He has actually been, like, his family has been in controversy since last year, and that is because of the adopted daughter of Mr. Ibu. According to Mr. Ibu's wife, she alleged that Mr. Ibu's adopted daughter was not adopted with her permission. So she was having issues with it before her husband passed away. In fact, everything came public when they came last year to ask for money to take Mr. Ibu to a good health, like to get him a very good health care. So people were asking questions, like Nigerians actually donated a lot of money to them because Mr. Ibu is someone that is very loved across Africa and the world. So Nigerians and the world, Africans donated money for his health, and then people were asking what happened. Why would Mr. Ibu be asking for money? Then Mr. Ibu was taken to the hospital in Abuja. So before you know it, Mr. Ibu's wife and the adopted daughter started fighting. There were lots of audios, like audio conversations that were leaked, and it was alleged in one of those audio conversations that Mr. Ibu was having an affair with his adopted daughter that was going to be his daughter-in-law, because the daughter is also dating Mr. Ibu's son. I don't know if it makes sense. So this was going on, and Mr. Ibu in one of those audios actually confirmed it, allegedly, that he had an affair with the so-called adopted daughter. So they were having these controversies, and the adopted daughter was also fighting back. And in one of the audios that the adopted daughter released, Mr. Ibu's wife, at the heat of the Mr. Ibu's health complications, Mr. Ibu's wife were asking the adopted daughter to buy a car for her and to buy an iPhone 15 for her from the money that was donated to take care of her husband. All these issues were going on while Mr. Ibu was battling for his life in the hospital. So Mr. Ibu's adopted daughter and Mr. Ibu's wife were fighting who will be in charge of the money, millions that were donated to them. The adopted daughter has control over the money. She has access to it, but Mr. Ibu's wife didn't have an access to it. And I think I spoke about it on this channel. I told you guys that, to me, how I do my things, it was very wrong for the wife of the man not to have an access. Why someone that was adopted without her permission, according to her, has an access to her husband's account? So it was something really is not something that I would applaud. I don't know. I still don't applaud it, okay? Because no matter how bad Mr. Ibu's wife is, it's not up to the daughter, the adopted daughter, to say. It's up to the husband to decide. So if the husband did not have issues with his wife while he was held and hearty, so why would they deny the wife access when Mr. Ibu is ill? So I was like, why would the woman even allow someone else? Like, according to the woman, the girl is not even related to them. She's not a family member, but she was having an affair with her husband. So why would she even allow the person to take charge over her husband's health? Mr. Ibu's family were battling this. Mr. Ibu's wife were fighting the adopted daughter were fighting Mr. Ibu's wife. At a point, Mr. Ibu's wife alleged that the adopted daughter stole 50 million from the money that was donated to Mr. Ibu to get a good health. At a point, she was allegedly arrested by the police. Mr. Ibu's wife got her arrested, and I think after that arrest, the girl had to stay away from the family because she was actually going to the hospital at Abuja and she was taking care of Mr. Ibu. Some videos of her feeding Mr. Ibu, trying to make him feel better, calling him daddy, you will be fine, giving him encouragement and other sweet words just to make him feel better. But then after the alleged police arrest, we stopped seeing Jasmine with Mr. Ibu. So Mr. Ibu's wife took over. She was taking care of the husband. You can see in some of the videos, she was feeding her husband, trying to encourage him, trying to make him feel better. So It was as if the adopted daughter, the wife, actually was fighting for her place in her husband's life. But then, legally, the wife is the only person that have that kind of, yeah, she's the only person that have that kind of power, okay, or that kind of privilege and access to be there for her husband, not the adopted daughter. But after the alleged police arrest, the adopted daughter stayed away from the family completely because, like I said, she stopped filming Mr. Ibu until recently. A few days ago, it was announced that Mr. Ibu has passed on, and people started asking questions. A lot of people actually said that Mr. Ibu wouldn't have died if Jasmine, that's the adopted daughter, was with him. Do you guys believe in this? I want to ask you guys, do you think it's possible that he wouldn't have died if Jasmine were there? I don't know. I cannot say. But what I want to tell you guys is that there is this interview that Mr. Ibu had years ago where he talked about getting poisoned. But then what Mr. Ibu did not tell us is by who exactly has been poisoning you for years and did not know. So he said he nearly died then, but by the grace of God, he was saved. So he had to be very more careful with his life. But then what I want to say is that, do you guys think that Mr. Ibu's wife would be the alleged person that has been poisoning Mr. Ibu for years? Do you think so? Because people are saying that Mr. Ibu's wife could be responsible for it, because there was this rumor that Mr. Ibu's wife was not with her husband when the illness started, and that the husband had actually been living with Jasmine before he fell sick, and then they had to involve the wife. So do you guys think that Mr. Ibu's alleged issue with his wife was because he was being poisoned? Who do you think that was poisoning Mr. Ibu? Do you think Mr. Ibu died as a result of that decades or years of poisoning? Or do you think that Mr. Ibu died from the complications of the recent problem that he had that made them cut his legs? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And what do you have to say to Jasmine and Mr. Ibu's wife? Who do you think is to blame? Like, who do you think contributed more positively to Mr. Ibu's life? I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. You can also share this video with your families and friends for them to also share their thoughts. Thank you so much. Subscribe, turn on the bell notification, give us a like.